on the tangent of purposefully sampling the places. The human biases sometimes feed in. Which one do you live? Which one do you pick?
Okay.
And that is a problem. But once you run it through a simulator, you can't get it wrong.
So this one we are coming to talk about is the national tracking pool.
Yes.
What is this and how different is this from the other things you've been doing in the past?
You know, we've learned a bit of lessons from the previous one. We wanted to enhance the accuracy of the work we do.
Okay.
So we are combining mode of surveys to give us a better way of reaching out to so many people who sometimes you don't get to meet them in the field. So for this particular April poll, we've added online or web survey. The web survey enables us to reach certain class of voters. Ideally, the voters who you will not meet in the street to talk to. They are mostly driving in their cars. You can't stop them and talk to them, but their views matter. We believe that they are on social media, especially on X. So when we put the survey on X, linking it to the real survey, we tend to get that class of voters to respond to our questionnaire. But then we get the regular people, the Tom, Dick, and Harry guys in the field to interview them. But going forward in July, we're going to be adding telephone polls. So we have 3 modal.
So face-to-face, and then you have web-based, and then you are adding telephone.
Yes.
So is this the first post-election sampling tracking poll?
Yes, that's the first post-election tracking poll.
Wow. And this data was taken within which period?
Between 25th and 1st April.
Oh, so yesterday, and so maybe just this week?
Just
so
yesterday.
This is fresh?
It's fresh.
Have you shared this anywhere?
Not yet.
Wonderful. So you are privileged to be taking the first consignment or first installment of this. Now I'm going to focus on some things. So the direction, what are the issues important to Ghanaians? We'll find out whether that has changed. Then we'll look at the direction of the country, the president's approval rating. Then we'll look at the standards of living and people's expectations on that. We'll look at the corruption fight. You included the IGP and people's perceptions of his performance. And then the state of 3 topical issues, which were what? Galamsey, Dumso, and Free SHS.
Yes.
But then there's a second part to this, which is 2028.
The crystal ball.
You look into 2028 crystal ball already.
Yes.
Just 3 months into Mahama's administration. So let's start with the first issue. So the key issues for the country: economy, unemployment, education. Has this changed?
It hasn't changed.
This is the same.
Consistently, it hasn't changed.
Wow. So economy is number 1.
Number 1.
Unemployment number 2. Education number 3. Was 4 and 5 also the same? Roads and healthcare also in the top 5.
Yes, top 5. Yes.
Wow. 3 months is a short time to change. So these are hard trends.
These are hard trends.
Since you began in 2022, this is what you've been seeing.
This has been consistent. Yes.
Wow. So the government knows what to do. Now, the first interesting thing was this one, direction of the country. Talk me through this. What's happening with direction of the country? What's going on here?
I mean, Bernard, it's a complete flip from what we have come to know in terms of direction of the country.
Yeah.
If you look at the data from the last tracking poll we took, which was in October 2024.
Yeah. Maybe let me go to the screen and show that so that we can go through. So direction of the country.
Yes.
Blue means what?
No, October.
Blue is October.
And then green is now.
Now.
Yes.
So right direction, what does this mean? 3162.
In October 2024, the last tracking poll, 21% or 31% of voters said Ghana was headed in the right direction. 62% said wrong direction.
So you compare blue to blue for October.
Yes.
So 31 right, 62 wrong, 7 no opinion.
Yes.
This is October.
October.
Now green is now.
Now, green is now.
Wow.
62% right direction. Complete turn of event.
And this has come down?
Yes, to 26%.
And no opinion has gone up?
13%.
This is massive.
It's massive.
Wow.
It's massive.
Now, the next thing which I found interesting was when you broke this down regionally, every region apart from Ashanti, actually every region has more than 50% right direction, except Ashanti.
It's Ashanti region.
So, look at the bottom. Ahafo 61, Ashanti 39, Bono 75. The highest approval rating was Northeast.
Northeast.
For the country, 86%. Followed by Volta, 81.
Yeah.
Any surprises there?
I think Northeast is a bit surprising.
This one?
Yes, because that's hometown or the home region of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
So for the 86% said the country was in the right direction. Are you surprised by Ashanti? 53%?
No, I'm not surprised, no. Because if Ashanti had gone the other way, that would have meant something for NPP.
Is this 39 high? The fact that 39...
No, it's very high. It's very high.
Okay.
It's very high.
This is a busy slide. Now, this is interesting.
The same around party lines.
So for NDC supporters, 84% says it's in the right.
Yes.
11 says wrong. For NPP, 37 right, 48 wrong. I'm not interested in. I'm interested more in this one. This one.
Yes.
What's going on here?
Again, in the same direction as the first issue.
Approval rating of the president. Okay.
Now, he's approved by 66% of voters.
66% of voters?
Yes.
Wow. Whereas Akufo-Addo was 36.
36%.
So in October, Akufo-Addo's approval rating was 36.
Yes.
Mahama has a 30% point higher approval.
Yes.
And those who disapproved of Akufo-Addo were
59%.
Mahama is only 23.
23%.
That's interesting. The other thing I find interesting, when you compare approval rating of the president to the direction of the country,
they move in the same direction.
Yes. So 3162, and then you have 3666.
Yes.
So actually, the president has a higher approval rating
than the direction of the country.
So you can say that people are happier with the president than even with the overall state of the country.
Absolutely.
By a 4% margin.
Yes. Yes.
Very interesting. Now, the other thing I found for your comment was that when you go across as well,
the same pattern. But
only
even,
Ashanti.
Even that is by small margin.
So Mahama does better in Ashanti
than the direction of the country.
Wow. So he's very popular.
Yes.
And which region is in the most popular? 89
Northeast again.
But voter is 90.
90, okay, 90 voter, and then Northeast.
No, Savannah is 95.
95, okay.
His home region, wow. It's pretty popular. Lowest is Ashanti, 42.
42.
And then Eastern is 53. So this follows national voting patterns.
Yes. And something is showing again here. Only Ashanti region is the odd one out. I think towards the end, I'll show you something.
So Ashanti is the only place where Mahama gets below 50%.
Yes.
Or his government gets below 50%.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you did this for party side, it's the same.
The same.
A high proportion of people in NDC think Mahama is doing well, and then the rest of that. Now, then you did something called approval of government.
Yes.
What's the difference between that and the president?
The government is the whole gambit of the government machinery, including the ministers, the president, and his appointees, and how they are perceived to be doing.
And in that as well, you did excellent, very good, average, and poor. Again, when you compare this to October, wow. So in October, only 9% thought Akufo-Addo government was doing very well.
Yes.
Oh, that excellent.
Excellent.
And it's now 21.
21%.
Then you take good or very good, 30 has gone to 55. Average 12 has come down to 9. So if you add excellent and very good, you can say Akufo-Addo was 39, Mahama is almost 76. Wow. So the government has a high approval
Than even Mahama, if you
and
compare.
And this survey was yesterday. Today is 2nd April.
Yes.
So yesterday.
Was concluded yesterday.
So despite all the things that have happened, wow, interesting. So the approval rating of the government is high, the direction of the country is right, and the president is liked.
Yes.
In the first 90 days.
First 90 days.
Okay. Usually, that's your honeymoon period. So this is probably the highest they will get. Generally, of course, it depends on performance. But generally, presidents tend to be popular at the beginning of their term, then they hard decisions.
Unfortunately, we didn't have data of 2017 to be able to look back and say.
Do you have 2021 data? Though?
No, we started 2022 tracking poll, yes.
So from 2026, we can start comparing
yes.
Akufo-Addo to Mahama. All right. So these are the top lines. I like the economic question. What question were you asking them?
We asked them, compare
standard of
in
living.
the last 12 months. Would you say that the standard of living has improved or gotten worse or unchanged, or you don't have an opinion?
In the last 12 months, would you say the standard of living has improved, gotten worse, or it's the same?
Yeah.
In October, 25% said it has improved, and 47 said it had worsened, 21 said it has unchanged.
Yes.
Now, half of the people say their standard of living has improved.
Yes.
Wow. Is this a reality question or a perception question?
This is reality, Bernard. Economic question is not perception.
So you are not asking them whether they think, you're asking them whether their life has improved.
Yes.
So in 3 months.
No, remember in the last 12 months, so they will be calculating.
Okay. So this is people in April
2024 to today.
I get it. So half of the people say their life has improved.
Yes.
Only 14 say their life has worsened.
Yes.
And then 30 say it has not changed. Wow. And then there's also a question about their expectation, right?
Yes.
So
optimism.
What does this question mean?
We asked them whether they are optimistic that their standard of living today would improve in the next 12 months. So we look behind 12 months and looking ahead 12 months.
Which is something a lot of businesses do.
Exactly.
Business outlook.
Outlook, yes.
So you're asking, do you believe things will get better?
Better.
In 2024 October, 40% said yes. 20% said no. 40% said, I don't care. Now 65 is telling you yes.
Yes.
So there's high optimism.
Very, very high.
Wow. And the 20 hasn't changed.
20 hasn't changed.
Wow.
So there are no opinions. They don't have an opinion. They have moved from no opinion.
Okay.
Yes.
So a lot of the people
Movement
here
came to.
I get it.
Yes.
So a lot of the people here have now come here.
Yes.
So a lot of people say no opinion. It was actually no.
Yes.
And then they ran. Okay. Now let's come to state of corruption. Why do you add corruption to this?
This is constant question we've been asking for ages.
Okay.
And one of the regular ones we'll be asking anytime we go to the field.
State of the corruption fight.
So if we ask them, what do you think about state of corruption in Ghana today?
Okay.
Is it improving? Is it getting worse? Is it the same? Or you have no opinion?
In October, it was 20% said it was improving.
Yes.
52 said it was getting worse. 24 said it was the same. Look at that.
Look at that. Yes.
20 to 56%. Corruption is improving. That means corruption is being tackled better.
Yes.
Wow. That's more than double.
Hugely.
And then the getting worse people are only 14.
Yes, 14%. Just 14%.
Wow. So this explains the election result.
Yes.
In a way, if corruption was an issue. Although in your top 3, corruption was in the top 5.
No. I think this is also a reflection of what people perceived is being done now to tackle corruption.
There's a more interesting question which you asked, which I think is actually the question of the day.
Now, this is very interesting.
In the regions.
The region.
Yeah.
Every region except Bunu region, majority of them are saying that it's improving. Even Ashanti region,
Corruption
majority said it's improving.
So this is the line to look at, improving.
Improving.
66, 51, 36, 60, all the way through. Wow. The thing I thought was the biggest issue in the corruption fight is the next one, not this one. Fighting corruption is a similar question, right?
Here we ask them, do you believe the government is doing enough
to fight corruption?
To fight corruption?
It jumped from 29 to 59.
Yes.
So they think Mahama is doing more than Akufo-Addo did
in fighting corruption.
And those who said he's not have reduced. I think the biggest question for the corruption fight was this one, the league table of most corrupt. Now, what I want to do with this one is to skip to this first. In August 2024, this survey agreed with NCC and agreed with yours. This was Afrobarometer. So I just wanted to remind listeners that in 2024 August, the police was the what?
Number 1.
This was number 2.
The presidency.
Tax officials number 3. MPs number 4. Judges number 5. EC number 6. Assemblies number 7. Civil servants number 8. Assembly members number 9. Executives, traditional leaders, public, all of that. This was 2024 August.
Afrobarometer.
And this agreed with your October.
We didn't do this.
You didn't do this for October?
No.
No problem.
This is the first time we are doing this.
How many of the following people do you think are involved in corruption, or haven't you heard enough to say? So police, presidency, tax officials, this is August. Now, your result, serious. Number 1 is police still.
And the way we asked them was, which of the following public institutions do you perceive to be corrupt? Rating them, 1 being least corrupt and 10 being most corrupt.
So the higher the score, the worse.
The worse, yes. So they go through every institution and assign a figure to it.
So it's not like you did it open-ended. You gave them the institutions
Yes.
and they should rank.
Yes.
And police top. They've always been topping. Oh, police. Even with Dampari gone and whatever.
Maybe the new IGP should be monitoring. In fact, this one sometimes will be monitoring going forward.
Okay.
Constantly.
Okay.
So you can see whether the police number will be coming down or going up. Because if you're an IGP, you should be concerned that that number is...
I recall the previous IGP wrote a statement after one of these corruption surveys to say that the methodology was unfair also. I don't know. So police still perceived as it was corrupt.
Yes.
Number 2 is immigration.
Immigration service, yes.
Hey. Number 3, judiciary.
Judiciary.
Then number 4 is tax officials, GRA. It's very similar to the Afrobarometer.
Yeah.
But there's one major difference. The presidency is missing in the top.
Now the presidency has gone to the last but 3. In fact, the least.
Wow. So the presidency is now down. They don't see them as corrupt.
No.
Even ministers are at the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom.
Well, they haven't had enough time to start their corruption yet. I'm just joking, but
no, that's why this baseline poll is very important.
Yeah.
So going forward,
we'll check. Which means that in the first 3 months of Mahama, ministers were at the bottom because there's no evidence that they are corrupt.
No.
So if this was high, it will be. All right. So the key topics here: police still being number 1, judiciary being in the top 3.
And
revenue being a top 5.
I think they've gotten worse compared to Afrobarometer.
Let's go to Afrobarometer. Judiciary was number 5.
Now they are 3rd.
Tax was number 3. As I say, tax haven't had a lot of chance to work yet under the new government. But it's very interesting. So government officials lowest.
Yes.
Religious leaders quite low. Presidency in the bottom.
In fact, they rank slightly on the same level as military. Military used to be the.
Military used to do well. Military used to do well. I think
they didn't feature in the last Afrobarometer here.
Yeah. So these guys should be worried. Police should be worried.
They should be worried, yes.
Judges should be worried.
Yes.
Immigration should be worried.
Yes.
Tax officials were 3, is now 4. Presidency should be happy.
And improve on it.
Ministers.
Yes.
So if they behave the way they behave from January till now, it will serve them well.
Yes, it will serve them well.
Wow. Quite interesting. Let me see what else we have here. Let's end with Dampari for the first part. So what was this?
You know, we wanted to see how Dampari performed during the elections in the eyes of voters.
Okay.
So we asked them to rate his performance for the electioneering period.
Just for the election period?
Left for the election period. And 14% said excellent.
Excellent, 14%?
Yes, excellent. 59% said very good or good.
Wow. So almost 73%.
Yeah.
Excellent and very good.
Yes.
That's
huge. That's huge.
Dampari. And then 21% said average.
Average, yes.
A honey hole.
Very poor.
So only 7% said very poor. But that is amazing.
That is shocking.
For the police service to be seen as the most corrupt, but for the IGP
performance to be seen.
Wow, this is incredible. But there's something that's funny here. So even though this is very good, your next result confused me a bit. So 60% of people say Dampari did very well. Another 15% said very, very well. Yet when you ask the question about whether they support him to be removed, what are we seeing?
53% support his removal.
Wow. Wow. That doesn't make sense to me.
No, they said you've done very well in the elections. But I think you must go.
53% said they agreed that he should go.
Yes.
Even though 59% said he did very well.
Yes. But it was 73%.
Yes.
So a drop of 20%.
I get it. Because if you add 14 to 59, 59, that was high. 29% were neutral, 18% opposed. Could this also be that even though people think he's a good IGP, they think the president has a right to change him?
It could be.
Yeah, because this may not necessarily mean that they are not happy with his work.
No.
Or
no.
It could just mean that they believe a new government should be able to change
the IGP as and when they feel.
But which is funny because civil society groups, some tend to disagree. They think that, I think Imani went to court on this, right?
Yeah, they did.
So that's possibly against public opinion.
Against public opinion.
So what you've done, which is helpful for us, is that when we discussed Dampari, we couldn't distinguish between his performance and support for his removal.
Yeah.
But I think you've done a great job for us by showing us that you can think somebody did well, but still think he should go.
He should go.
That's pretty. Although this was just an election-based question, if you had asked overall 4 or 5 year tenure, it may have been a different outcome.
No, we asked that question before, I think, the October poll to rate IGP, and it was very high.
It was still very high.
Very
so
high.
His public persona and performance is great.
It's great.
People believe he should go. What about the new IGP? Did you ask about him?
Yes, we did. We asked whether people have confidence in him.
And they are...
58% said they have confidence.
Oh, that's good. That's good for him. 58%. So and then 30% say they are neutral.
Neutral.
So only 12%
have no confidence in him. It's a good start.
He should be happy with that. Which means he has a chance to
improve on it.
Yeah.
If he slips, it will catch up with him.
But that's great. 58%. So is it Dr. Yohunu?
Yeah.
IGP Yohunu?
Yes.
I've been struggling with the name. Some say Yohunu.
Christian Tete Yohunu.
Some say Yohunu. All kinds of accents. This is the point of view. Tonight, Musa Dankwa is my guest, and we are looking at his latest survey. We call it a tracking poll. This looks at governance, the government performance, and the rest of it. When we come back, we'll look at some 3 key issues. The fight against Galamsey. Would look also at the issue of Dumso and free SHS. And then in the last bit, we'll tell you who voters are looking at for 2028 in NDC and NPP. All this and more on the point of view. Stay with us.
Excellent. Be that business owner that stands out and is very productive.
You're so confident. How do you do it?
It starts with Built. Where does your confidence come from? Paperwork made simple. Built takes all the hassle away. Yeah, don't be like her. Built is your all-in-one simplified finance platform. It's your home for invoices, payments, your payroll, and so much more.
Oh, wow.
Grow your business today. Sign up now at built.africa. Download the Built app now.
Life is a celebration of moments. Big and small.
The sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world, Piva Drink adds a burst of refreshment.
Give me Piva cocktail and tangerine.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love.
P for Piva.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back to The Point of View. Tonight we are with Musa Dankwa, and our focus is on his latest tracking poll on the governance. We've looked at issues like the approval rating of the president, of the government, and also the direction of the country. We've looked at the state of corruption and perceptions, and also the IGP. Everything looking very good for the Mahama government. We didn't touch the Electoral Commission. We touched that briefly because this survey was, of course, just the past 1 week. You did ask a question about the Electoral Commission. What was the question?
We asked them how would they rate the performance of the chairperson.
The chairperson
of the commission.
Of the commission.
During the election.
Wow. And what did we get?
Excellent performance, 10%.
Excellent performance, 10%.
Very good or good, 50%.
Wow. So 60% either excellent or very good.
Yes.
Should be happy with this.
Very, very happy.
23 is average, only 16% poor.
Yes.
Wow. So that's also quite interesting.
Yeah, because sometimes you see the kind of noise we hear
and the way the
media hype things, on the ground it's a different story. I mean, this is from the voters who felt that
So 10% said she was excellent.
Yeah.
50% said she was good or very good. 23% said she was average. So only 16% thought she was poor.
Yeah.
Wow. Then you picked 3 issues. Why did you pick Galamsey, Dumso, and SHS?
You know, on social media, there has been the call.
Yeah.
Especially on Galamsey
and
Dumso. And I felt, I mean, as a pollster, you need to be relevant. So we wanted to see if voters agree with the perception in the media and social media in particular. So we wanted to find out from the voters themselves whether they agree or what's their view on those top 3 issues.
So what was the question on Galamsey?
We asked them what is the state of Galamsey in Ghana today since Mahama took over?
So you asked, has it improved, worsened, or unchanged?
Unchanged.
So the key thing to look out for is what percentage will say it has worsened, for example.
Yes.
Because it's still a topical issue.
Topical issue. So if you look at the improved, 38% said it has improved.
Wow. 38?
Yes.
Because I discussed Galamsey on air today on radio. 38% said it had improved.
Only 10% said it's worsened.
Wow.
So if you limit yourself with these two, worsen and improve is plus 28%.
So Kofi Bua will not be too disheartened, because when he came on the show last week, I was pretty tough on him. And I felt that they were not tackling the key issues of the repeal of the LI, the state of emergency, and possibly the ban of excavator imports. And the government's track seems to have changed a bit. So this is an interesting...
Very, very
But because Galamsey is such a moving issue, did you distinguish between Galamsey communities and non-Galamsey communities?
In fact, we did, because we knew that question would come. So we disaggregated the survey into national, the mining regions, and then the non-mining regions to see whether there are any big difference in the way they see Galamsey.
Okay, so let's look at current state of Galamsey under Mahama, national, mining, and non-mining.
Yes.
So, and even with that, you would say the figures are the same. Gentlemen, can you move? Let me see this. Or you don't have it? I don't. Okay, yes. Good.
So if you look at the national, is the blue ones. So under the improved, nationally, it is 38%. The green one is the mining regions. There it is 28% improved. And then 42% for non-mining regions. So it's quite higher in non-mining regions than the average. But then those who say it's worsened, is still higher in the mining regions.
So this is an interesting point.
Yes.
So if there's somebody who should watch, is the green. You're saying that this is the reality.
Yes.
So for those in Galamsey communities, they are not as optimistic as the rest of us.
Yes.
They think the situation is much worse than the rest of us think.
Yeah, but still, improvement has +3 advantage. That is improved, net improvement.
And the unchanged is 42%.
Yeah, 42.
So the government shouldn't be complacent.
No.
The people in the mining communities think Galamsey has worsened more than those in non-Galamsey communities.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So that's a food for thought for the minister and the rest of us. Actually, there are 2 ministers now, environment minister and the lands minister. Now, the other issue was Dumso. Again, what's the question?
The same like the Galamsey one.
Okay.
What is the current state of Dumso today under Mahama? We pin it to Mahama.
Under Mahama?
Yeah, we will put Mahama name there just to, let people think that we want to
Between
see.
January 7
Yes.
and 27th or 28th March,
Yes.
all the way to 1st April.
Yesterday, yes.
What is the current state of Dumso under Mahama?
And with Dumso, everybody experienced Dumso. It's not like we have areas that, like mining and non-mining, Dumso is universal across the country. So everybody, anywhere, has a fair view of what they are experiencing.
And for that, do you think we should compare worsened versus improved?
Yes.
Improved is 34, worsened is 20.
20. So net advantage of 14% for improvement.
So more people think the Dumso situation is better.
Yes.
Although I need to say the worsened 20 is higher than the worsened for Galamsey.
Yes, yes.
The Galamsey worsened is 10.
10.
But the Dumso worsened is 20. So even though Jinapo may heave a sigh of relief that the public opinion on Dumso is not that bad, the 20 is still a problem.
Yeah, but remember the Dumso is national in character, whereas Galamsey is unique to certain communities. So the broad understanding of Galamsey by other Ghanaians in non-mining areas is probably not very good.
So more people think Dumso is improving.
Yes.
And then the unchanged is 41.
Yes.
Interesting. Then the last of the 3 critical issues was what?
Free education.
Why did you even bring it up?
Oh, because Bernard, you must have your ears on the ground. You can't go and do Dumso do galamsey and not do free education? Because those were the issues that featured strongly in the campaign. So now that the campaign is over and we are into governance, are people seeing any changes in the free education since Mahama took over?
And again, you should compare the red to the green.
Yes.
Red to green.
Yes.
Red means it's gotten worse.
Worse.
Green means it's gotten better. So just 3 months into Mahama, 37% think free education has improved.
Yes.
Just because there's a new government.
No, you see...
Has there been any policy substantive change? Has there been anything?
I think it's in the feeding.
Okay.
It's in the feeding.
Okay.
But when the feeding improves, parents don't send more money.
We haven't heard a lot about low food.
Yes. And that is what is feeding the polling numbers.
So that's actually very good. So 27% more think it's gotten better than gotten worse.
Yes.
Wow. That's quite interesting. So does that also mean that you think that for the first year of Mahama, his 3 biggest problems will be Dumso, Galamsey, and free SHS?
Yes, I think
the 3 top issues.
Yes.
Dumso, Galamsey, and free SHS will be his 3 top issues. Although there's did you ask any question about the budget or the economy?
Yes, I did. The budget is there.
The budget is there?
Yeah, it's there.
What did you ask?
We asked them whether they are satisfied. They should indicate the level of satisfaction with Atufosin's budget. We put his name there.
Okay.
Atufosin's budget.
How happy are you with Atufosin's budget?
Yes.
And what did we find?
Let's see.
So I see here, maybe let me move to the screen and see if I can pull that for you. So Atufosin's budget, where are we? Boom.
Yes.
Wow. 64 happy, 26 neutral, 10 not happy. Wow.
And it's not surprising that those who were criticizing the budget were politicians.
I get it.
You did not
hear... So most of the civil society businesses were happy with the budget.
Yes.
So it's only NPP that wasn't happy with the budget.
And that reflects in what you see there.
So most of the public think the budget was great.
Great.
Dr. Amin, you were on this show telling me the budget was not good. So, I don't know. We need to do something. Wow. 64% thought the budget was great. That's pretty high. Have you asked this question before?
No, this is the first time we're asking.
Wow. 64% thought the budget was great. Technical guys, was the budget great? Did you listen? My guys in the camera, did you? This is serious. 26 were neutral.
Yeah.
So, the key point is the green. So, you're saying that for these, let me just go back here. For these metrics, it's the red versus the green.
Green.
Good, bad, or improved, worsened. Improved, worsened. Free SHS, 37 improved, 11 worsened. This one is interesting. 64% say budget is great. 10% say they are not happy with the budget. 26% are like, you know what?
Neutral.
Let's see, let's wait and see.
Yeah.
Wow. That is pretty something. That is something. All right, now, I think we need to talk about why you are doing elections because, look, it's just 3 months into Mahama. Okay, so why are you even, what are you looking for from here going? What is in the following slides?
You know, for us, the more we understand the numbers, the better our predictions. And also, some people may not be looking to know who is NPP, but we've seen from NPP side, the dusting has already started. So we have no choice but to begin to talk to voters and see what they think. And we can't go and do NPP and not do NDC because these are the 2 main parties that are going to contest for 2028. And also sometimes you tend to have people who will be looking beyond 2028 to see which government will be in power, who can be in power. And it kind of informs certain decisions by certain strategic organizations. So this is something that was going to come. So we started to take the bull by the horn and begin to look into the crystal ball.
So I noticed that your first question on the election was who is to blame for the NPP defeat? Which is an interesting question. You didn't say what is to account for Mahama's victory.
No.
You want to know, is it because of the things happening in Ashanti with all the discussions?
Yeah, all the discussions and the blame game and stuff like that.
And the first big number, I think I need to move to the screen here. Who is responsible for the NPP defeat? Boom. Talk me through this.
We give them a number of names because these were the names and maybe a certain group of people that commonly people were citing. So we asked them, which of the following people, choose 3 that you would ascribe your blame for the defeat to. Out of this many, just give me top 3. So 68% of people who were choosing who to blame were choosing Nanado.
Wow. So, and these are not NPP voters alone.
This is Ghanaians. Yes.
68% say Nanado is to be blamed for NPP's defeat.
Yes.
Now that's interesting. I wonder, yesterday was his birthday or 2 days ago. I wonder what he thinks about that. Saturday was his birthday. The other one was that the second person was Ken Ofori-Atta, 40%.
40% is quite high.
Was this open-ended or close-ended?
Not close-ended.
You asked them leading question.
No, we gave them plenty names. They could have chosen appointees or members of parliament or Kennedy.
So the name Akufo-Addo is number 1?
Number 1.
Or Akufo-Addo had the highest frequency?
High frequency, yes.
And then Ken, 40%. But he wasn't on the ballot.
He wasn't on the ballot, but they're blaming him.
So the candidate himself had 37% of the blame. Or 37% said he was to be blamed.
Yes.
The vice, his running mate too is possibly to be blamed.
Close behind him.
33.
Yes. And people saw the campaign he waged. So.
Oh my God. Government appointees 32%. MPs 26%. Kennedy Pond only 9%. Wow. This is interesting. I won't say it's shocking though.
No, it's not shocking.
I won't say this is shocking.
No, it's not shocking.
It
confirms
what most people have said.
Saying, yeah.
And I don't know what that means for NPP because Okoe's committee is still working. And I don't know whether his findings will be the same as this. Quite interesting. 68% say it's Akufo-Addo, 40 say Ken, 37 Bawumia, 33 Napo, 32 government appointees, 26 MPs, 9% Kennedy. Wow. Now, I want to move to something else because you did a couple of things on planned voting and stuff. I felt this is too technically detailed. Although you did something I found interesting. You did a rematch.
Yes, rematch.
Before that, you did something called voters' reason for not voting. All right. This is slide 65. Let me just move there. I just want your comment on that. Voters' reason for not voting. And I thought that the response was quite interesting. This one. Lost interest in democracy, almost 40. Disappointed in government performance, 35. Other reasons, 28. I did not because of religion. But was there a high? Because the turnout was low. You know, this election turnout was around 60-something%.
I mean, for those who say they didn't vote, these were the reasons for not voting.
They are tired of democracy.
Yes.
They want a monarchy.
But they believe that they have probably voted NDC and MPP, and they haven't seen improvement in their life. So why are they still voting?
So that's the first reason. You also did something called rematch.
Yes.
And I thought that was interesting. Where is that?
No, you've gone past it. I've come back.
I've gone past it.
You've gone past it.
What do you mean by rematch?
Rematch here.
This one?
Yes.
No, this one.
Yes, rematch. Okay, go back a bit.
This one?
No. Okay, no. Go back. Where you have the images, go back.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
It's much earlier.
Go, here.
What is this?
You know, there has been talks that if Mahama is to face the voters again, he will lose.
Okay, that's what people are saying. So you asked the people if they were voting today.
If they were to be given a chance to vote again on the same candidate.
Yeah, it will still be this.
59-35. And in fact, if you look at it will be, see the actual vote. So among those we interviewed, 59 said Mahama is who they voted for. 36 Bawumia, and 5% others. Now, when we ask them rematch, go forward one step and let's see. Mahama stays 59, but Bawumia drops 35.
From his 36.
36, and others go to 6%.
Wow, so he has work to do.
Yes.
Now, I think the most anticipated poll is this one now. The issue of, no, not this one. Who leads NPP and who leads NDC? I think that's the big question.
That's a big question.
And for that, I'll take a break. When I come back, we'll look at what Ghanaian voters are saying about who to lead the two main parties for 2028 elections. This is the point of view. Stay with us.
My name is Ochiame Kwame. I live at the plush Leisure Den Symphonic, a real estate property developed by Whaley Properties, the very developers of Vista Del Mare and the beautiful Alphabet City. So come with me to site. Let me introduce you to your new home, a gated community with 24-hour security in the heart of Sakomono. Behind me is going to be Willow Lane, where elegance will meet tranquility. You are going to be greeted with a 4-bedroom ensuite home with an elevator, swimming pool, children's playground, constant electricity, and many more. But wait, it gets even more interesting for early birds like you. You get a whopping $50,000 discount. Yes, I said $50,000 if you purchase between now and the end of this month. So call us now or visit us. Willow Lane, where elegance meets tranquility.
Welcome back. Tonight we're looking at the latest tracking poll put together by Musa Danquest Global Info Analytics. We've looked at the country in terms of the direction, approval ratings, we looked at key issues like Galamsey, Dumso, and the economy. And of course, who was to blame for NPP's defeat or who essentially should be blamed for the election outcome. Now, I think this is an interesting one because with barely 3 months into Mahama administration, you really think about 2028. But Musa Dankwa decided to ask, what is this? What is this? The Mahama hasn't even finished choosing all his appointees. He asked 3 or 4 deputy ministers more. You're already looking at to succeed him.
But there are people out there campaigning for 2028.
Okay.
For NPP side. So we can't look at NPP and turn a blind eye on the NDC side.
So you did for both parties?
For both parties, yes.
So this is the first poll that has come out on this? Poll. All right, let's go there. Voters' preference for NPP leaders in 2028. Boom. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, yes. 48.1. Kennedy Japan, 25.1. Whoa. Dr. Yawed Osei-Duchum, 12.5. This is Kwabena Ejepon.
Yes.
7.2. Brian Echampong, 1. By the way, Brian is B-R-Y.
B-R-Y, okay.
This guy is still there? Where is Napo? He's not here?
No.
Why didn't you include him?
We did work before this this survey. So we felt the most prominent ones is what we want to take to the field.
It would have been nice to include the running mates, although the work, whatever. So these are the names you gave the people?
Yes.
And in this list, he is number 1.
Number 1.
But he's below 50.
Below 50.
By the way, what did he get in the NPP primaries?
61%.
And what did Kennedy get?
I think he got 38%.
38. Of course, those were the top 2. So together, this was the last 2.
The last 2 years.
Okay. But and now you have 48, 25.
If you look at the telephone poll we did before the big event, it's almost similar to this one among delegates.
The telephone poll?
Kennedy was 35% and Bawumia was 47% in that delegate poll.
Ooh. But this guy was not in the race.
No. So he's really...
Where is he coming from?
Nowhere.
Dr. Osei-Duchum, the
former education.
He was supposed to be he was supposed to be the competitor for the running mate slot.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow he didn't get it.
No.
12.5%. Is this big?
It's big. It's significant. It means that people must think strategically.
Wow. And this is interesting as well. Kwabena
Japan.
Because he campaigned for Bawumia.
Yes, he did.
But he's 7.2. Where is Brian coming from?
One of the rising stars in NPP.
4.1%. Adayimo never goes
one of
away.
The old guards.
Because even this guy from Akufo-Addo, Alan, I wonder what he does that makes him... Or people just remember his name.
I think maybe Ashanti region is quite known face in Ashanti region. So,
will Bawumia be happy with this?
No, he shouldn't be.
It's too low.
It's too low.
You think so?
Yeah.
Will Kennedy be happy with this?
This means that if you ask me, it means that the battle will be fierce than the last time.
You are serious?
Yes.
Because compared this early in the race, he was in a much wider lead.
No, it's almost the same.
Okay. But you'd have expected after the election you should do better.
Yes, yes.
But if he lost, why should he do better? The election, the result was
But you know, the thinking is that he's been well marketed. So on that basis.
So you believe that? But this is not for NPP. This is everybody.
This is everybody.
Did you disaggregate this into parties?
No, but we did. But you see, this kind of tend to feed into delegates because these people we are talking to, the same.
So this is the overall
Ghanaians. Yes.
Will he be happy, Kennedy?
I think he should be doing better.
25 is.
You could see that maybe Edichum was eating into his backyard.
But this guy is 12.5%.
Yes.
Wow. And you disaggregated this into. Okay, let's look here. So for NPP, Bawumia is pretty high, 57.
Higher in NPP, 57.
And Kennedy is 22. Educhum is 11, which is still pretty cool.
Yeah.
But for NDC, Bawumia is 44.
Kennedy 26. Educhum 13.
Kwabena Japan is higher in NDC.
9%.
Okay, quite interesting. Floating voters, Bawumia 44, 27, and 14. Educhum. So this seems to confirm the view among some that Educhum is a better crossover candidate than possibly the other running mate was. Because if floating voters are giving him 14, NDC 13, NPP 11.
I think what we'll do next time, we'll introduce the running mate's name in it.
You need to put Napo in this race.
Yes.
So that it gives us a better picture of the NPP situation.
And if anybody emerges again, but I don't see any serious contenders.
The other thing I find interesting, Kwabena Japan among others is 14.
14.
So he seems to be known outside NPP is just 5%. He's getting 14 in others, 7 among floating, 9 in NDC, overall 7. So clearly he needs to do work in NPP if he's interested.
But remember, having 5 in NPP is quite a big number.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
You also did an ethnic breakdown.
Yes.
And among the Mole Dagbani, Bawumia is in a clear lead.
Clear lead, yes.
Among the Akan,
it's still very good comfortable, 49%.
Still leading. Even in Guan, 40. The only place he doesn't do too well, actually everywhere he does well.
Everywhere he does well.
Yeah. The best number for Educhum is ever
17.
Guruma. 17. Kwabena Japan. Wow, 30 Kwabena Japan among Ewes.
Kennedy Japan.
Kennedy Japan, wow.
Yes.
30. And Bawumia 36. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Quite close. Any reason why? Did you? Okay, of course, you can find out next time. Now, so
he was doing well in Buta region. Even he won the.
He won the
NPP
primaries Volta.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So the big before you go, so this is the big outcome for NPP. Bawumia close to 50%. This early in the race. Kennedy half of that. The big story is Educhum 12.5. Although Napo's name was not in this list, so it would be nice to see if we put Napo's name where he would be, because I'm sure you have a thing or two to say about this. And then Kwabena Japan 7.2. Brian 4.1, Adanimo. So, are you saying that whoever he decides to go with will be key?
Yes.
Wow.
He has become probably. He could threaten Kennedy if he mounts a tactical campaign. Remember, he is going to be sharing the same base as Kennedy.
But he hasn't said he's running yet.
He hasn't said yet, but we are speculating.
So either of them could be looking for him.
Yes.
All right, let's do NDC. Okay, so what is this? Who do you prefer?
Here we put as many names as we can imagine.
Okay. And number 1 is the vice president.
Vice president, 25%.
Education minister, 20. Finance minister, 13. Ablakwa, 10. Asidun Ketia, 10. I'm rounding it up.
Rounding up.
So if you take 25, 20, 25, 21, 13, 10. Zaneto is 6. Julius 4. Everybody else is quite low. Wow. Again, like Educhum, I think this is an interesting one because I never heard his name. I never heard Atufonse's name in all of this.
Very interesting.
He hasn't said he wants to do anything.
No, he hasn't said.
He just wants to do finance.
He just wants to do finance.
Why do you think this is coming from?
You know, NDC is likely going to be led by the new generation.
You can see it from the appointees of the president.
Yes. And on that basis, people begin to look for their future leader from that group.
And in that group, you take out the vice president.
Yes.
She's not a new generation.
So in the next slide, you will see a bit of tweaking that we did.
Is he a new generation?
I mean, technically, probably on the borders, on the margins, because I think it's around 54 years old. And Ablakwa and Okujeto, Ablakwa and Atufosin are much younger.
I am surprised that Mosquito is making only 9.8. Because I speak to NDC party people, and I thought a lot of them were comfortable with the idea, but maybe I missed. I don't know. I'm surprised. I thought you would do much better.
You know, I mean, let's look at the next slide and see.
The breakdown. Okay, so before we go there, so the vice president hasn't said. Nobody here has said anything.
Nobody has said anything.
You are just putting.
I'm just putting names.
You're putting them in trouble.
That's why there are so many names.
So 25, 21, 13, 9, 10, 10. Okay, fine. Now the next one is
when the same data into party affiliation.
So let's look at NDC. I expect Mosquito to do better at NDC if I'm right. Jenana is 19.
Almost 20% in NDC.
Atufos in 15.
15.
Haruna 21.
21.
Where is the
Mosquito? Mosquito. I said in Ketia. Where is it? Number 2. 9.5.
This is shocking. I'm surprised. Because I thought because he's the general secretary, the chairman, he's known in his party. So which means that there's a... So in NDC, Haruna is 21.
21.
Wow. Blackwell is a comfortable 11. So it's like a fourth. If you take out Jane, she's third.
Yes.
Did you take out the vice... How old is the vice president, by the way?
Sorry?
How old is the vice president?
I think she's going to probably be around 72 or 73 by the time...
No, she's 73 now.
Hey, okay.
That's what I'm told. So if you take the...
If you add 4 years to her age at the time...
Above 70s. So you did a new generation poll. You took out the vice president.
Vice president. And took out Mosquito.
You took out Mosquito too?
Yes.
And this is what you have?
This is what you have.
Wow. So these are the top 5. This is interesting. This is actually... Because this is not surprising.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is not surprising. This is also not surprising because... But this is interesting for me. So I think my takeaway is Educhum for MPP and Atufosin for NDC. Watch this space.
Watch this space.
And the economy is a big portfolio. And interesting, education.
It's another big portfolio.
Wow. She hasn't been given a post yet.
But people are mentioning her name.
But the fact that she's there is interesting. Because
something.
the Rollins brand is big.
Yeah, it's big. It's a very big brand.
Maybe if she's made minister, she could do better.
She will probably rise in the polling numbers.
And this is Omane Buama, 4.7. Wow, Musa, when are you doing another one?
In the next 90 days.
90 days. So,
July.
We'll have a good thing to compare with. Wow. I don't know. I've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Send us comments. We'll discuss this on a separate show. I'm sure the Situation Room on Thursday will delve into this much further. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.